Hello, you've caught me following the rules of being in a video. For example, I'm not swearing, I'm engaging directly with the audience, and I'm not naked. Yet.
There are similar unspoken rules for just about everything in life. Off to make a cup of tea, the rule is you ask anyone else if they want one first, unless you're Dave. In the toilet, the rule is you don't come out until everyone else has gone, even if you finished like ages ago. Playing a video game, the medium has built up its own set of rules over time, a special language that all gamers learn.
So when some games decide to break those rules with some truly outrageous moments, the natural reaction is to write 7 of them in a list and reel them off with some silly jokes. Here's that happening right now. Hey Dave, it's Rob.
Yeah, what do you want?
I just hear it's amazing when the famous purple stuffed worm in Flapjaw space with the tuning fork does a raw blink on Harakiri Rock. I need scissors. 61.
What are you talking about?
To the tally.
I could have chosen many moments from the Metal Gear series for our first entry, but AI Campbell's codec meltdown towards the end of Metal Gear Solid 2 trumps them all in terms of fourth wall breaking madness. After revealing the entire game as being an elaborate simulation of the original Metal Gear Solid, a cheeky dig at the nature of sequels by Hideo Kojima, Campbell berates the player for spending far too long playing the game and suggests you turn the console off.
It's a genius moment because it makes you stop and think, have I been playing too long? Is this part of the game, or is it just some kind of elaborate safety warning?
It doesn't help that as this is going on, Raiden is cartwheeling naked through the bowels of a tightly guarded Arsenal gear. The whole thing feels like a lucid nightmare. The ever-present safety nets of having a gun and calling wise old Colonel Campbell for advice are stripped away, and all the while you wonder if the game has actually broken, if the PS2 has overheated and fried the disc, if the infamous words fish and mailed are the babbling death throes of a game played to breaking point for 6 hours straight.
Nope, it's just Kojima having a laugh. Outrageous.
How about we break our own rules for a second and do a nice entry, one where nobody dies or mentions Metal Gear, one where your face is the sun. Tearaway, a genius PS Vita platformer from Little Big Planet creators Media Molecule, continuously acknowledges the presence of the player and the seemingly divine effects he or she can have on the game's beautiful papercraft world. It's a wonderful communication between game and gamer, the likes of which we've never seen before. Tearaway is stamped with so much you, it's easy to see its world as an actually existing extension of our own.
You can't not smile while playing Tearaway, it just puts you in such a good mood. Such a good mood.
Then when you get to the end, you're presented with a beautiful picture book of all the amazing times you've shared with Iota or Etoile, and it's as if Tearaway's world is bleeding into your own, and you cry a little bit because you've never seen anything so heartwarming in a game before. Boo-hoo, let's do someone dying again, namely you in Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, at the end of a seemingly routine mission full of blowing things up and making lots of noise.
As your squad is escaping, a massive nuclear explosion goes off and your helicopter plunges to Earth. That's fine, this kind of thing happens all the time in video games. You think, I'll just crawl out and survive. Somehow.
Wrong. Call of Duty 4 breaks the massive video game rule that is, your protagonist can't die, at least not until the end, in one of the most harrowing scenes in recent gaming memory. You're forced to watch through the eyes of Sergeant Paul Jackson as his lids droop, his breathing slows, and his life ebbs away, all while a mindless mushroom-shaped catastrophe hangs in the air.
I was so shocked when I first played this, I restarted the mission, convinced I'd gone wrong somewhere. Such was my concrete certainty that no, you don't die halfway through a video game, that's against the rules.
But you do die, says the big angry bomb in the sky. Deal with it. Sometimes when I've got lots of important things to do, like sending Dave silly pictures of myself, I like it when games are short and sweet. Not everything has to be a 100-hour sandbox with 47 endings, but then 15 minutes of sitting at a table is pushing it a little bit, wouldn't you agree, Far Cry 4?
This naughty secret ending found right at the start of Far Cry 4 breaks a sacred video game rule, which I'm going to call the law of never really doing what you say you're going to.
Let me explain. When Pagan Min says, "Don't move, I will be right back," our video game trained minds instantly translate that to what it really means, which is basically, "I'll never be back, this cutscene is over, start the game now please." You'll get up, you'll explore the room, you'll look at things really closely for no reason at all. You're starting a new game and testing out all the nuances. That's what these opening areas are for.
However, if you actually listen to Pagan Min and stay right where you are, then about 15 minutes later, which is precisely the amount of time it takes to torture someone, I know, I checked.
No! I'll tell you everything!
Wow, precisely 15 minutes. Pagan Min actually comes back.
Then the game ends and you notice the song that's playing is "Should I Stay or Should I Go?" and you think, "Oh, that's clever," and you start the game again and play it properly.
Entry 5. Here's the fourth wall, and here's what happens to it. Do it, Delsin.
At the end of Assassin's Creed 2, after you've boffed the Pope in the chin, you come face to face with Minerva, one of those weird super beings from the distant past who uses poor old Ezio as a conduit for speaking directly to Desmond, and by extension, you. It's a strange moment, Minerva staring right at you, breaking free of the virtual constraints of the Animus, her hypnotic gaze reaching beyond the screen into the real world.
Delsin, I can't move my legs.
Number 6, the ending of Spec Ops: The Line, where the fourth wall is ripped up into tiny chunks and then spat out into space. Conrad's speech to a bloodied and shaken Walker ramps up the weird by forcing you to reflect upon an entire game's worth of atrocities, all of which have been committed by naughty you. This breaks the rules because usually games are easy with their overblown matinee murder, whereas Spec Ops is essentially sending you to the naughty corner and asking you to think about what you've done.
I must not burn people alive using white phosphorus. I must not burn people alive using white phosphorus. I must not.
Then you're forced to look at yourself in the mirror, a lovely bit of self-reflective symbolism, before being presented with a choice. Shoot yourself or shoot Conrad.
Either way, the mirror illusion shatters and you feel very bad indeed.
For all you've done.
Finally, we've got the big kahuna of all video game rule-breaking, fourth-wall-destroying, mind-frazzling moments, and it comes in Batman Arkham Asylum. You all know the bit I'm talking about, where Scarecrow starts to mess with your game and you start to think it might be broken.
Oh no.
Before you're forced to relive the opening sequence with an odd twist. Batman is being wheeled off to the depths of Arkham, and you're the Joker.
There's just something really weird about all of a sudden looking at someone you're not familiar with. I mean, sure, he's cool and everything, but he's nowhere near as cool as the guy who's usually there.
And then you're shot in the face and the game fools you into thinking you failed a QuickTime event. You're not allowed to play with our fragile emotions like that, Batman. Look what happens. Dave ends up on the sofa. Anyway, thanks for watching this week's video. Tell us your own outrageous rule-breaking moments in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this one every Friday.